got something that the Lord had put on my mind today, and I can't get it off my mind. The more I try to get it off my mind, the more it stays on my mind. And it's about a good foundation and the power of prayer. Today we're planting cotton, and just like planting cotton, you got to have a good foundation to get started. You got to make sure you got the right seed, the right fertilizer, and you got to get the land prepared, for the seed. If you start out good, you're gonna end up good. I mean, it's just the way it is. A good start, it's gonna be a good finish. Well, it's kind of like in life. Life is hard enough with all the distractions in the world. We don't need no help getting into any trouble. But anyway, foundation. Susan and I got married years ago, and we loved each other, and we had some nice things and all that. And we were blessed to have 2 kids, Caleb and Samantha. And you think you're on top of the world, but her and I won't right. We won't get along that great. We were arguing all the time, and it got to the point where we really just didn't want to be around each other. Well, started going to church a little bit, and all that, going through the motions. Well, one day the preacher was riding with me on the tractor, and he said, Jamie, he said, if you ever given your life to Christ, or if you're doing like most people, just give him a little piece of it. I kind of laughed, and I said, well, I really don't know. I said, I believe. I said, but I don't believe I'm where I need to be. He said, I agree. And we talked a little bit, and anyway, he went his way, I went my way. And a couple of weeks later, it was in October, matter of fact, 2017. I was at church, Susan won't there, and it was one of them sermons that plucked my heart. I think I'm right. He was preaching in the Book of Kings. I believe I believe that's where he was at. But anyway, it was one of them sermons that worked on you, and was it working on me. I cried 3/4 of the way of the service, and when the invitation come up, I call it the Get Right song. When the Get Right song started playing, they were playing Take Me to the Cross. And I stood up and I was crying, and I just stepped out and I went up front. I don't remember nothing but going up front. I remember going to the front, and I remember hugging the preacher, and I was crying, and he prayed for me, and he helped me that day. And several others come down there and prayed, and church was over, and I went home, and I thought everything was gonna be all right. Well, I started getting a little more involved in church, going and doing things and stuff, but I forgot a thing a passage that the preacher told me. He said, when you're the most vulnerable is when the devil will jump on you the hardest. He said, just like a new person to Christ, he said, you're like a newborn. He said, you're vulnerable to everything. He said, he's going to jump on you. He said, so get ready. I said, okay. I said, let him come on. Well, he came on. A year later, that following October, I got baptized, and people were coming around and shaking my hand and hugging me and telling me, they're going to be praying for me, and they were happy for me, and you know how it goes. And come home, and man, that devil jumped on my house. I mean, he come in the windows, he come in the doors, he come through the air conditioning vents. And I don't know, don't matter, but hell flew into Susan and I, and we got to arguing like, we were mixing like oil and water. And we actually separated she actually moved out. And well, we stayed separated for a while, and matter of fact, it was a total of a year and a month and a few days. It don't matter now, because that was then. This is now. But things started coming around for us, and I know it was God, man. It had to be, because she called me one night, early one morning, one night. Samantha wasn't breathing, gasping for air. She was taken to the emergency room. So I went on to the emergency room, and they ended up taking her to MCV. Well, they ran tests and checked the egg, and there was no blockage in the airway, and anyway, she was good. But during all that time, Susan and I, we sat beside each other and we talked, not hateful, but we were just talking and hoping and praying, and that our little girl was going to be all right. Caleb was right there. And the preacher came, and he prayed with us, and then him and I went to the food court and talked, and he said, "How things going?" And I said, it's going. That's where we left it at. Well, we all come home, everything's good, and I don't know the exact date, and like I said, it don't matter, because that was then, this is now. But Susan rolled up to the house after lunch on a Sunday, and it was right after her birthday. I do know that. So it might have been the Sunday after her birthday. I can't remember. But we talked, and she said that she wanted her and I to work things out. And I had a lot of issues, some issues with her that went on, and I'm sure she had some with me that went on. So we forgave each other, and we asked the good Lord to forgive us for what we said to each other. And her and I, we gave each other a hug right in the living room. And the next week, she moved back in. And we've been firing on all cylinders ever since. We went to church the next Sunday, and the preacher always asked, does anybody have a good word? And Susan raised her hand, and she said, I like the announce that the good Lord has blessed Jamie and I, that He has brought us back together. Of course, everybody was very, very thankful. And after church, people got to coming up to me, and Susan and just saying how hard they were praying for us. Now, I didn't know they were praying for us. I didn't even know they cared. I really didn't. And they were praying for us, and they knew that it was going to work out. We just had to let God do the work. We couldn't fix it. We had to let God fix it, and that's what we did. Right now, I'm happy to say that Susan and I are in a very good place as husband and wife in our relationship. She's, contrary to what she says, she is my best friend. And I feel like I am her best friend. We don't hover over each other, worrying about what the other one's doing per se, but we do. We let each other know where we're at. Just respect. We respect each other. Where before we didn't give a rip what anybody was doing, as long as we were doing what we wanted to do. But the point of all this is, I believe in my heart now, after I've studied it and researched it and just having faith, is that if Susan and I had started our relationship out with a better foundation than just the flesh, we would have never had that problem. But I also believe that God let Samantha get in that predicament to draw Susan and I closer together that particular night, so he could start the process. Since then, we say our prayers every night. The kids say that blessing every meal. Caleb won't even eat a Pop-Tart without saying the blessing. Samantha, every night before she goes to bed, she comes in the room with us and says her prayers. And we've started, us guys. Kurt leads it up. But myself and a bunch of my buddies, we do a men's prayer meeting on Monday nights. And you'd be surprised of how many people have been in the same predicament that you were in. I believe that the power of all them people praying for Susan and I helped. Y'all know me from the testimony I gave about my heart attack, and the power of prayer is it's something. And the more people you got praying, the better it is. The devil can't take it. The devil can't penetrate prayer. He tries, but he can't do it. But anyway, I hope I didn't bore y'all too much with my little story there. But the Lord put that on my heart, and it's been on my mind for a day or two. But today, for some reason, I just set the phone up and hit record. And sometimes you do your best preaching when nobody's around. But I felt like it was one of these moments that I needed to record it. But anyway, I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your continuing prayers for us. But anyway, thank you.